Assalamualaikum everybody. Thank you for joining us today for the book hour. The book we'll be discussing is Cricket in Pakistan by Dr. Ali Khan, who we have both been fortunate to study from at LUMS or interact with, and I have also, because I'm a senior of Safas at LUMS, so I've also studied with his under his father Sher Khan, who was the PCB chairman, especially Ambassador Sher Khan. So Ali Khan, for those of you who don't know, is an associate professor of anthropology and dean of the Mushtaq Ahmed Kurmani School of Humanities and Social Sciences at LUMS. He has an MPhil and a PhD in social anthropology from Cambridge. And prior to joining LUMS, Ali Khan spent over 10 years working for the ILO and the World Bank. So, initial thoughts. Safa is joining me as well for this book hour. So I'll start off with Safa. What were your initial thoughts of the book?
The book is great. Like it's such a unique. ऐसा literature पाकिस्तान में बहुत कम है जहाँ cricket को एक societal, sociological sense में पढ़ा गया है. तो what it talks about in this book is कि it looks as Pakistani cricket as a microcosm of society. तो जो भी पाकिस्तान की हिस्ट्री और पॉलिटिक्स में हो रहा है, सोसाइटी में जो चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, वी सी हाउ इट अफेक्ट्स द टीम एंड हाउ क्रिकेट इज शेप्ड एंड हाउ क्रिकेट अफेक्ट्स दीज फैक्टर्स बैक. तो इट्स अ रियली फैसिनेटिंग लिटरेचर जो पाकिस्तान में, आई एम नॉट श्योर व्हाई, हालांकि क्रिकेट इज़ सच अ बिग थिंग इन पाकिस्तान, लेकिन उस पर इस किस्म की स्टडीज़ इतनी हो नहीं चुकी. सो आई थिंक इट्स definitely worth reading, and there are a lot of really interesting topics that he covers.
And so far, is it a textbook on cricket, like year by year wali cheeses?
No, there are themes. There are themes. So it goes year by year as well. We'll cover some aspects of that. Lekin there are some themes such as leadership की बात होती है, ज़ियाउल हक का role in cricket की बात होती है, match fixing कैसे एक culture बना, because Salman Butt did not come out of nowhere. There is a whole backdrop that he talks about, which is very fascinating. So it gives us a very holistic perspective of why things are happening in cricket and what role cricket plays in society overall. So it's a great book. It's very readable. Anecdotes बहुत सारे हैं. He interviews all kinds of people. So what did you think?
Honestly, I'll start off with एक theme जो book में it not only describes कि how politics in Pakistan has shaped cricket over the years in Pakistan, but it also talks about how cricket has it also talks about the other side, how cricket has shaped society over the years. So सबको पता है पाकिस्तानीज, अभी recently T20 World Cup हुआ है, सबसे बड़ा factor क्या है? We have been always been unpredictable. We have redefined the word unpredictable. So it is 92 World Cup on repeat हुआ इस दफ़ा भी. We lost in the finals, but still ये हो गया. So for Pakistan, cricket is one thing which has to a huge extent remained apolitical, right? So even though it has been influenced over the years, as with everything in Pakistan, by politics, वो आप नहीं isolate कर सकते किसी चीज़ को पाकिस्तान में, but it has been one factor in Pakistan which has brought unity. So it does not matter which political party you support, it does not matter which background you come from. You can be the elite in Pakistan, you can be right down in the grassroots as well. You will always support Pakistan. And जब मैच जीते हो, for example संडे ही होता है ज़्यादातर, इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच मंडे को खुशी से सब ऑफिस जाते हैं. जिस दिन हारते हैं उस दिन तो मंडे ब्लूज मल्टीप्लाइड by 100 हो जाते हैं. So this book is about how cricket has shaped politics, how politics has shaped cricket in Pakistan. And as Safa has mentioned, that it is not a textbook on, it's not a crash course कि अच्छा ये date पे ये हुआ. No, it's about how different aspects have evolved over the years, in not only in the history of Pakistan but also in the cricket history of Pakistan. So Safa?
One of the really important themes that we see in Pakistan's history, but also the cricket team itself, is Pakistan ki history overall mein there is a theme of resilience, जो भी हो रहा होता है. So one of the great examples in this book is 47 में जब पार्टीशन हुआ तो पाकिस्तान के ऐसे हालात थे कि इट्स शॉकिंग दैट पाकिस्तान मैनेज टू सर्वाइव एंड इवन रीच रिलेटिव प्रॉस्पेरिटी फॉर अ वाइल. तो द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज़ कि उस वक्त गवर्नमेंट मशीनरी बहुत कम थी, स्ट्रक्चरल सपोर्ट कोई नहीं थी, वी डिड नॉट हैव इंटरनेशनल सपोर्ट, वी डिड नॉट हैव इंडस्ट्रियल सपोर्ट. तो पाकिस्तान का खड़ा होना वाज a big deal at the time, and the same applies to cricket. So cricket, again in this book, it's a theme कि how cricket reflects society, right? तो क्रिकेट के जो ज़्यादातर mechanisms थे और structures थे, they were actually more in India. तो इंडिया साइड की तरफ ज़्यादा रह गए. 80% facilities इंडिया साइड पे थी. Pakistan did not have that many cricket facilities. We had 2 centers, Lahore and Karachi. That's it. We did not have anything else. So what's really fascinating is 1952 में Pakistan became a full member of the ICC, which is, by the way, sponsored by India. India sponsored our entry into the ICC. This is so fascinating. ये एक chapter है book में. We'll cover it if we can, but we'll get to that later. 1952 में Pakistan came into the ICC, and they played their first series against India, naturally, and we won a test, which was a big deal. Pakistan, considering कि team के हालात क्या थे, we won a test. We had this amazing captain. हमारा पहला A.H. कारदार थे. He was Oxford educated, really great, you know, अच्छी family से, very established person. तो 1954 में we won our first test match against India, and उसके बाद हमारी series हुई इंग्लैंड के साथ, and we won a test against them as well, which is insane because England was by far the best team at the time. It was their sport. And just to give you perspective कि कितनी interesting बात है, बाकी teams, India, New Zealand, India took 20 years to defeat England. We did in our first series.
Really?
We won one match, not the series, but just registering one win was a big deal.
Okay.
So England, like India did it after 20 years. New Zealand did it after 26 years. So this is just such a great example कि पाकिस्तान की cricket में no structures, nothing, but इतना passion था, इतना sense of purpose था in some individuals that they carried out amazing feats. And पाकिस्तान के पास actually record है ICC का कि they had the earliest successes out of any team. So every series that they played against the first series against any team, they won at least one match. So they showed up. Baki teams did not achieve this feat. It took years of building structures and proper mechanisms. फिर वो उस level पे आए where they were competing. We were competing like that immediately. So that was just amazing.
And now as एक book में एक चीज़ है कि 1970s में Pakistani cricketers, they mostly came from 80% of them came from Karachi and Lahore. That's it. तो KP से इमरान खान जैसे they were like Oxford educated university से stream होके आते थे. But हमारे आप देखो तो KP के background के थे, KP से ही नहीं थे. अब 80% of our team is from KP directly. NWFP/KP.
हाँ, this is one of the biggest changes
Yeah.
that came in cricket. कि NWFP में almost बिल्कुल cricket नहीं थी. There was no cricketing center. लेकिन जब इमरान खान types came, who was known for his Pashtun roots, तो then we had Shahid Afridi and Yunus Khan and all these.
अभी
अब तो
हमारी
बहुत
team
ज़्यादा
में
है.
सारे
Yeah.
almost 80% वहाँ हैं.
That was a huge
I'll read
thing.
an excerpt from here. This new generation of cricketers played the game with the captivating and innovative talent. Many of these players came not from Lahore and Karachi, but from the smaller centers in Punjab. Mushtaq Ahmed from Sahiwal, Inzamam ul-Haq, Inzi Bhai from Multan, Shoaib Malik from Sialkot, Aqib Javed from Sheikhupura, and Waqar Yunus from, who can tell me where Waqar Yunus is from?
Burewala.
Burewala. He was known as the Burewala.
Burewala Express. So several were from poor backgrounds. Yusuf Yohana was the son of a sweeper. Shoaib Akhtar's father was a night watchman, and Mushtaq Ahmed's father was a daily wage labourer. So that is how much cricket in Pakistan has evolved from the elite people who actually spent their summers playing cricket in English county clubs to people who are more from the grassroots in Pakistan. So that is one testament of how Pakistan has evolved as a country and how cricket as a part of Pakistan has also evolved.
Yeah. So this is obviously it happened over these series of transformations that happened. So I think we should just go back way in time and थोड़ा सा discuss कि cricket subcontinent में and then later on Pakistan में कैसे thrive हुए. So शुरू में before partition, obviously the English people would play cricket and वो हम पे एहसान करके they were like यार आप लोग भी खेल लो खैर है तो this was their way of civilizing the natives तो it was an English sport लेकिन जब सब continent में आई there were different communities right Parsis Hindus Musliman सब अपने factions थे so actually the first community in the subcontinent, let's just call it India for now, the first community that had their own cricket club were the Parsis. ठीक है तो Parsis एक established wealthy community थी relatively तो they had this faction and they started their cricket club. अब पारसियों को देखे हिंदुओं ने कहा कि यार हमारी भी क्रिकेट क्लब होनी चाहिए सो द हिंदूज स्टार्टेड डेवलपिंग देयर ओन क्रिकेट क्लब्स और मुसलमानों की क्रिकेट क्लब बहुत बाद में आई 20 साल बाद आई थिंक बिकॉज if you remember at the time, if you look back at history, तो मुसलमान were very suspicious of colonial activities. They were against their education. हम ज़्यादा मानते भी नहीं थे. तो we were like, this is colonial sport. हम नहीं खेलेंगे इसको. तो then मुसलमान ने भी अपनी cricket, obviously cricket, they fell in love and उनकी भी अपनी team बन गई. So this is so fascinating in the book कि एक team होती थी पारसियों की, एक होती थी हिंदुओं की, मुसलमानों की and the English. तो ये 4 teams होती थी and they would have this epic tournament. पूरे सबकॉन्टिनेंट में it was called the quadrangular. So these 4 teams would play against each other. इस book में लिखा हुआ है कि the streets would empty when this tournament would happen. Like लाहौर, कराची और इंडिया में different cities में जब होता था तो people would leave everything, tickets बहुत sold out होते थे. तो this was this quadrangular tournament going on. And later on, इंडिया में क्योंकि बहुत diverse community है, there are other factions as well, Sikh वगैरह भी हैं, तो they had their own team and this team was called the Rest. So it was Hindu, Musliman, Parsi, English, and the 5th team was called the Rest. Then we had a pentangular tournament going on. So in 1913 maybe बहुत बड़ा एक tournament हुआ था with these 5 teams and everyone watched. तो cricket का एक जज्बा बहुत grassroots level पे start होने शुरू हो गया था, but it was still an elite sport. ज़्यादातर established wealthy लोग ही खेलते थे. And schools and universities like you talked about, they played a big role. तो ज़्यादातर partition के बाद भी our first captain जैसे हमने बात की है एश कारदार थे who is an Oxford educated person तो ज़्यादातर हमारे team members actually इस्लामिया कॉलेज और गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज लाहौर से आते थे HSN भी बाद में आया है ये 2 colleges were the main they played a huge role in establishing पाकिस्तानी cricket तो ज़्यादातर स्कूल से आने शुरू हो गए and then over time अब हम partition के बाद देखें तो पाकिस्तान में आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो ऑपरेशन 1 यूनिट हुआ जिसकी वजह से और सेंटर्स खुलने शुरू हो गए
to balance out East Pakistan West Pakistan was culminated as 1 unit
so other centers got an opportunity Gujranwala Multan में भी matches होने शुरू हो गए so in different places cricket started coming in तो 1970s की अगर आप टीम देखो it was glorious like those cricketers Imran Khan Zaheer Abbas all of these amazing cricketers और उसी टाइम पे 3-4 फैक्टर्स एट वंस हैपन जिसकी वजह से क्रिकेट एक्सप्लोडेड एक तो हमारी टीम अमेजिंग थी 1977 एंड 8 में ऑस्ट्रेलिया के खिलाफ वी हैड दिस एपिक विन और इसके फ़ौरन बाद वी हैड 1 साल बाद इंडिया के खिलाफ वी रजिस्टर्ड बहुत अच्छी एक सीरीज़ विन थी तो दैट वाज ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाला जो टेस्ट मैच था दैट वाज द फर्स्ट PTV ट्रांसमिशन एक्चुअली तो उस टाइम पे टीवी आ गया रेडियो पे पहले सिर्फ इंग्लिश कमेंट्री होती थी ज़ियाउल हक प्लेड अ ह्यूज पॉजिटिव रोल इन क्रिकेट तो ज़ियाउल हक केम एंड ही सेड कि यार उर्दू में भी कमेंट्री होनी चाहिए लोगों को सुनने दो बिकॉज पीपल वर इलिटरेट न्यूज़पेपर तो पढ़ते नहीं थे इंग्लिश तो समझ नहीं आती थी तो ज़ियाउल हक केम इंग्लिश उर्दू में कमेंट्री स्टार्ट होगी द TV स्टार्टेड बिकमिंग अ थिंग एंड हमारी टीम इज़ डूइंग अमेजिंगली तो 70s में क्रिकेट जस्ट exploded हर जगह से क्रिकेटर्स आने शुरू हो गए हर जगह people were watching इमरान खान ज़हीर अब्बास जावेद मियादाद all of these cricketers play तो 1970s में we had this epic run and उसके बाद 92 में we won
before that I would like to ask you to elaborate कि ज़ियाउल हक की क्या contribution है because that was surprising
ज़ियाउल हक played such an interesting role in cricket. So Ziaul Haq was the guy who kind of introduced cricket diplomacy. So he used cricket very actively क्योंकि Ziaul Haq ने तो बाकी चीज़ें तो बैन कर दी थी. There was no music or entertainment तो थी नहीं. तो he needed to distract people कि यार there was a military coup और वो आया है. तो just to distract people he's like oh cricket देखो यार कितने fit खेल रही है हमारी टीम. तो he very actively played in cricket. This is insane. I did not know this. Like in 1987 में he talked Imran Khan out of retirement. Do you guys know this?
Yes.
I did not know this. So 1987 में he talked Imran Khan out of cricket. So technically we have him to thank for the
Yeah.
92 World Cup win.
Yeah.
And उसके बाद Imran Khan became Prime Minister, वो अलग
So
बात है.
he
But
has Imran as your luck
yeah,
to
the rest is
thank.
history. But he would actively participate in the matches. and
Also,
everything.
when Imran Khan was injured, he
Paid for his recovery as well.
Government
जो
paid for
treatment
his
थी.
treatment.
He paid for his treatment. He would show up in matches जब इंडिया पाकिस्तान के बीच में tensions बहुत high थे. Ziaul Haq would show up and watch those matches and people would be like, what are you doing? तो he actively एक दफ़ा वो कैरी पैकर की सीरीज़ आई थी World Series cricketers got banned. तो Ziaul Haq very actively partook in those events and said कि unban these cricketers, let them play. So he kept intervening, which was very unusual कि इतना आप openly intervene करो cricket
Also,
में.
इसने सब players को कहा कि English county से आ जाओ पाकिस्तान वापस, we'll pay you. He guaranteed payment to them because a lot of people used to play English counties for the salary, of course. So Ziaul Haq did contribute to that.
This is another reason why 70s में इतनी बड़ी चीज़ cricket बन गई थी because our cricketers had such international exposure. Indian cricket team was not on that level. हमारी cricket team was glamorous, like celebrities थे. They were way bigger than any movie star or anything like this. तो India की team was very behind in that sense. तो जब people were very inspired by their heroes, they could see them visually on TV. तो 90s में फिर बाकी areas से भी cricketers आने शुरू हो गए who were lower class से, lower income class से, very poor background, informal education, no formal coaching at all. तो then tape ball cricket happened.
tape ball.
1970s के end पे I
Yes.
think तो Islamabad में someone thought of taking a tennis ball and wrapping it with electrical tape. So then rest is apparently allegedly this is written allegedly कि Islamabad in Karachi someone just took a tennis ball and wrapped it in tape and then street cricket became a huge thing. तो street cricket की वजह से क्योंकि formal education और formal coaching तो थी नहीं, schools का role बहुत कम हो गया. पहले school से आते थे cricketers. उसके बाद 1970s के बाद जो cricketers आने शुरू हो गए they were from different backgrounds. तो उसमें क्या था कि they did not have consistency. They did not have formal training. They were pure passion, pure intensity, pure talent. Just गलियों में रात को फ्लड लाइट्स ऑन करके क्रिकेट खेलना, अपने रूल्स, नो अंपायरिंग.
20 ओवर्स के मैच होते थे हमारे
5 ओवर्स के मैच में ख़त्म करोगे.
कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं थी कि रहना है आपने क्रीज पे, रन्स बनाने, वो चीज़ तो थी नहीं ना.
अपने रूल्स पे.
हाँ, अपने रूल्स.
So this showed in the cricket team later on after Imran Khan
We
कि
did
इतनी
have problems
inconsistency थी.
bowling वगैरह में एंगल्स का मसला हुआ था लेकिन
Illegal bowling actions बहुत सारे आ गए. तो लेकिन then we got people like Waqar Yunus and Wasim Akram and all of these amazing cricketers. लेकिन then inconsistency became a huge structural part of cricket क्योंकि हमारे cricketers ऐसे आ रहे थे. They were not coming from formal education or formal coaching. They were coming from the streets, literally, like street cricket खेल के. तो then that's how we see कि इंज़माम उल हक, शाहिद अफरीदी, ये सारे आने शुरू हो गए and the demographics of the team totally changed. पहले urban middle class लोग थे, A.H. Kardar type. Then we had these amazing celebrities जो international exposure, हर English county में खेलते थे, बहुत पैसा था, everything. And then we had these other cricketers जो different demographic, lower income से आए and they did not have international exposure, county में भी कम हो गए. So they had different struggles. So yeah.
But if I also wanted to talk about the leadership change in cricket, how that is reflective of what is happening in Pakistan also. जैसे leadership बहुत बदली है. I'll read it out from here. So between 95 and 98, 6 different men captained Pakistan. Across 2009 and 2010, 4 different men captained the test side. 16 different men have led Pakistan in tests since Imran and Javed Miandad left. Between these 16, the leadership has changed a staggering 26 times. बाकी मुल्कों में ये नहीं होता, but also this is reflective of politics in Pakistan because मैं बचपन से पढ़ती आ रही हूँ कि एक पीरियड था 1950s से 70s 60s तक where we had prime ministers changing कुछ 4 महीने के बाद, कुछ 2 साल बाद, right? So that is also so cricket again वही वाली बात throughout the book cricket has taken a reflection from the politics in society as well. So, what would you say about the leadership role?
Leadership has always been a huge issue. अब जैसे 26 times after इमरान खान leadership
And
change
yeah,
हुई है, जब
yeah.
बाकी मुल्कों में 8 या 6 दफ़ा हुई है
हाँ.
max, तो obviously there is a lot of instability. So I think overall we can talk about, if you talk about Pakistan cricket, you have to talk about the match fixing
Yeah.
that happened. तो लीडरशिप का उसमें बहुत बड़ा रोल था, लेकिन जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड द बैकड्रॉप ऑफ करप्शन के सलमान बट जैसे केस हुआ कैसे, ही वाज नॉट द फर्स्ट, ऑब्वियसली वी नो दिस. कयूम रिपोर्ट आई थी 2000 में, तो बल्कि 2000 से पहले कयूम रिपोर्ट वाज बीइंग लाइक 99 में इट वाज पब्लिश, लेकिन एवरीवन वाज लाइक डोंट टॉक अबाउट दिस, इसको
Yeah.
साइड पे करो, इट वाज बेरीड. तो इफ़ यू लुक थोड़ा सा बैक, कमर्शलाइजेशन वाज एक ग्लोबल फिनोमिनन था कि कमर्शलाइजेशन स्टार्टेड हैपनिंग. And cricket में the very first symptom of that was Kerry Packer's World Series cricket. Do you guys know about this World Series cricket के बारे में?
It
तो
was like back in the 80s, right?
I think 78 में the first version
Yeah.
came.
So they brought in colored kits.
हाँ,
and camera
exactly,
and white ball and
exactly.
all that,
तो
yeah.
ODI कभी थोड़ा trend शुरू हो गया. तो Kerry Packer and a lot of players were banned. Whoever played in the
Yes.
Kerry Packer
It was like
series.
a rebel league sort of.
हाँ, it was a rebel league, and what became clear was कि पैसा अब खुदा बन रहा है, nationalism is dying, you know. And Ziaul Haq, that's why very active. Ziaul Haq का time था ये, तो Ziaul Haq very actively played a role in cricket कि यार nationalism please. तो commercialization start हो गई थी 92 में. अब let's just talk about कि like how match fixing became integral, like such an integral part of the team culture. तो commercialization started 92 में. इमरान खान won this amazing World Cup जो हमारे हिस्ट्री का हिस्सा बन गया. अब इमरान खान when 92 World Cup जब जीता, तो he made a like the team promised him कि we will help you with your cancer hospital, right? So he had this goal कि after retirement I want to work on this, and the team said we'll support you. 92 में लेकिन when they won और जब पैसा आना शुरू हो गया, remember we talked about demographic थोड़ा change हो रहा है, तो a lot of the players were from financially insecure backgrounds. तो जब पैसा आना शुरू हो गया, they backed off. They're like, we're not gonna help you. We earned this money. Like, why should we be the ones who are paying you? तो इमरान खान बहुत disappointed होके he left. He's like, don't talk to me and everything. तो this culture, अब इमरान खान when he left, तो एक leadership void बन गया. उसके बाद no one picked up. उसके बाद we had Salim Malik, who is an established like match fixer. तो जब आपका captain ही is encouraging this culture, match fixing becomes very easy. तो पीसीबी खुद एक करप्ट केसेस बहुत ज़्यादा है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत ज़्यादा है. पाकिस्तान का ओवरऑल बैकड्रॉप, देयर इज़ अ ह्यूज करप्शन embedded in society जो कल्चर में है हिस्सा in every institution. तो this started building up, and IPL से हम बैन हो गए. We were not getting internationally, we got isolated. This is over time things started happening. 2009 में श्रीलंका के साथ वो अटैक हुआ श्रीलंका टीम पे. 2010 में we had this क्या बोलते हैं सलमान बट केस happened. So we were before that we were getting very isolated overall.
Can you talk a bit more about the Salman Butt case?
हाँ, तो सलमान बट केस का जो बैकड्रॉप था, so 2009 में जो श्रीलंका का बॉम्बिंग हुई, तो वी वर वेरी इंटरनेशनली आइसोलेटेड. IPL वगैरह नहीं हो रहा था, इंडिया पाकिस्तान के मैचेस नहीं हो रहे थे, एंड एट होम क्रिकेट स्टॉप्ड, राइट? तो व्हेन एट होम क्रिकेट स्टॉप्ड, देयर इज़ नो रेवेन्यू, लाइक बहुत कम रेवेन्यू आ रहा है. एंड दुबई, शारजा, अबू धाबी में मैचेस करना इज़ रियली एक्सपेंसिव, एंड दिस इज़ एट अ टाइम जहाँ हमें पैसा नहीं मिल रहा. तो क्रिकेटर्स वर नॉट बीइंग पेड दैट वेल. हमारा एनुअल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आयरलैंड की भी टीम से कम है, just by the way. So Ireland ke players are paid more. So there was just very little source of
Also
income.
here I'll add, because PCB के अंदर, as with honestly every government institution, 800 बंदे 100 बंदों का काम कर रहे होते हैं. So वो सैलरी जो है वो डिवाइड हो गई. तो we did not have money coming in. इतने लोगों को पे भी कर रहे अब आगे, तो इसलिए सलमान बट का
हाँ, exactly. And generally भी 92 के बाद when Imran Khan left, Imran Khan was a very सख्त, honest captain. He had a lot of values. He's the guy who advocated for neutral umpiring as well. तो उससे पहले नहीं concept था, Pakistan pushed for neutral umpiring.
He was also Oxford educated. So.
हाँ, exactly. He was Oxford educated. He was just generally very sakhat. He was like, if anyone match fixed in his zamana, he would have killed that guy probably.
Say corruption.
हाँ, तो
It has been there.
exactly. तो he was, उसके खिलाफ no one dared even mess with him. तो when he left and Salim Malik जैसा player came, तो and Qayyum report उसी वजह से हुई क्योंकि 92 के बाद there were rumors कि पाकिस्तान टीम में बहुत ज़्यादा मैच फिक्सिंग के probably scandals चल रहे हैं. तो that's why Qayyum report happened. 1999 में it got published and then 2000 में 99 में it got published but it was buried. 2000 में
It was not released publicly.
it was not released. It was sidelined. तो 2000 में क्या? Do you know why it came forth? Do you know what happened?
I don't know that, yeah. But I've read the report.
2000 में what happened was कि there was a huge cricket crisis जहाँ दिल्ली पुलिस ने कुछ स्कैंडल रिलीज़ किया अगेंस्ट दीज क्रिकेटर्स जहाँ बहुत सारे क्रिकेटर्स का नाम आया. साउथ अफ्रीकन कैप्टन थे हैंजी कॉनिये एग्जैक्टली वो आए. मोहम्मद अजहरुद्दीन ऑफ इंडिया एंड लॉट्स ऑफ प्लेयर्स गॉट exposed in the 2000 case जहाँ दिल्ली पुलिस played a role in that. तो when that happened, obviously पाकिस्तान पे भी हाथ उठा and then people were like Qayyum report लेकर आओ वापस, we need to look at it. लेकिन when people looked at the Qayyum report, they're like it's okay. हालांकि टीम के ज़्यादातर players का नाम था उसमें, most of the players were in that report. लेकिन people are like it's okay, होता है, खैर है, कोई conclusive evidence नहीं है, it's fine. तो nothing happened.
That's what the report said as well, that there was no conclusive evidence.
There was no तो ये भी बात हुई है.
Against a few of the senior players. कुछ को हुआ जिनके
Salim Malik वगैरह
yes,
को हुआ,
they were
yeah.
banned after that.
Yeah, but the thing is कि no one actively investigated those players. Na? It was like it's okay.
The report was done after an investigation.
Yeah, that is true. But everyone knew that it was happening, and if you look at the interviews that are mentioned in this book, it was a well-known fact in PVCB, in the players, और 3 factions बन गए जहाँ 2 people were match fixing with different lobbies, and एक part of the team was whistleblowers who were complaining. तो शायद अफरीदी अपनी biography में भी लिखता है कि I knew about Salman Butt and everything. तो like people knew, लेकिन no one was talking about it. तो obviously पाकिस्तान में वैसे भी cricketers को इतना worship किया जाता है कि they feel like they can get away with anything. So then
there was also a leadership, I feel like leadership void after Imran Khan.
Exactly.
I'm not advocating Imran Khan, but there was a void that
वही बात ना कि सलीम मलिक जैसा player came and then later on no one was a leader of that level. अब that's the disappointing case about Salman Butt because Salman Butt कि अगर आप थोड़ी if you get to know him थोड़ा सा, he's such a tragic waste of potential. It breaks your heart because that guy showed symptoms of being on that level. You know, he was.
Clinton when Clinton came.
हाँ, तो he was really intelligent. He was well spoken. He really cared about the youth, which is why Mohammed Amir trusted him, which was his biggest mistake, unfortunately. लेकिन Salman Butt was just he had those qualities that could have led him to an amazing career. So the fact कि I think एक साल within 1 year of his captaincy, this scandal happened. So in his first series against Australia, he did brilliantly and people were so impressed कि यार Salman Butt जैसा बंदा आ गया. And then this cricketing scandal happened. Mohammad Asif, Mohammad Amir, they got banned. And Mohammad Amir is a great representation of the Pakistani youth in general. इतना talent हो, इतना potential हो, लेकिन you don't have that mentorship to mold you. And then you get lost like this. So there we stand.
Yes, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that's where we stand.
So how many of you remember India's tour of Pakistan in 2004? Does anyone remember?
I do.
I do as well. So it was one of those series कि जिसको cricket का ना भी पता हो, everyone was caught up in that cricket fever, right? So I remember, for instance, जब वो पिंडी में खेल रहे थे, they were staying at the Marriott, and I had to go there for a work-related thing. I saw the cricketers. I saw Dravid, then Dulkar, Yuvraj Singh. I saw them there, and you know, वो होता है एकदम कि अच्छा यार ये इंडिया ये across the borders से आए हैं, right?
Yeah.
So I'll read it apart from this book. So this is Ganguly. He traveled to Pakistan in '97 as well to play a one-day series. तो उसमें उसने account relate किया of a shopkeeper refusing payment for clothes that he had bought for his wife. When the items were packed and I was about to pay, the man at the counter said, "We won't accept money from you. This is a small token of love from us. I tried hard to convince him, but the shopkeeper remained unmoved. He kept on saying, "आप इंडिया वाले हमारे भाई हैं. You Indians are our brothers." So there is so much love between Indians and Pakistanis. But जब से मोदी in power आए, especially in 2014 onwards, the BCCI, the Indian Cricket Board, is too subservient to the politics of Pakistan, India. Sorry. So everything is so politicized right now. So हमारे matches नहीं होते, and because regional matches नहीं हो रहे with like India Pakistan alone is a crowd puller anywhere in the world. And जब अपने region में नहीं हो रहे, एक तो जैसे Safa mentioned, when you play in the UAE or other grounds apart from your own countries, host countries, the expenses are tantamount, right? So I think इसके क्योंकि region में उस तरह जैसे with other things, honestly, SAARC and trade and blah blah सारा कुछ मैं कहूँगी, it is at a standstill right now because India Pakistan के बीच में. But over the years it has become so politicized because of the Indian side as well, because their whole cricket board concept has become politicized. So इस book में उन्होंने कहा है कि while you can't expect 100% कि अच्छा cricket will solve India Pakistan के मसले, cricket will not, but cricket is one thing which can sort of create a conducive air. I remember Shahryar Khan, when I was in class, he was relating because it was during his tenure जब India आया था Pakistan. So he was relating that they only had 1 month to sort of, you know, सारा security देखना, सारा कुछ plan करना, and obviously it's India, so you can't really mess up because it would be not in the favor of the image of the country, right? So you know, the whole PCB went out, and not only the whole PCB went all out to make the Indians feel at home, it was literally every person from shopkeepers to the top up officials who made sure that was one moment, and that would be one in a few moments in Pakistan where the whole country was like, politics side pe karo, we have to make sure that the Indians, हमारा image अच्छा हो, and Indians feel that, you know, Pakistan is welcoming them. So for us, that whole series जो एक महीने में हमने तैयारी की है सारी, was a victory for us, and it is still a victory for us in that sense. So Safa, what do you think of India Pakistan? Do you think it can be a conduit in the future for
not under
peace?
Modi, but overall, if you look at the Indian-Pakistan relations, cricket-wise, they're very different. They're in stark contrast to the political relations that were going on. तो जब भी दोनों मुल्कों को मौका मिलता था of hosting the other team, they did it with open arms. Like they were so excited कि गंगूली आ रहा है और ये player आ रहा है और पता नहीं क्या. Imagine Kohli coming to Pakistan now.
Money as well.
They make money, but the people open them with.
It makes money for the boards, and the people are.
Well, obviously, but people love it, na? It's like finding their long lost siblings.
Exactly, it goes both ways. It goes for the Indians as well. When the Pakistan team went in 2005 to across the border, it was the same warm reception.
Yeah, and generally be like, if you look at the relations in general, like I said, 1952 mein India sponsored our entry into ICC, which is insane. Just imagine partition abhi hua hai. The wounds are fresh. They're not even scars yet. So, lekin yet India backed Pakistan and they sponsored our thing. And even before that, 3 dafa हमने apply किया था. तीनों दफा India backed us कि यार Pakistan को team like रखो ICC में. तो there are just so many interesting anecdotes in the book as well. अब जैसे for example 1965 में जब war हुई थी, तो there was this series going on, ये कोई match हो रहा था against England and the rest of the world. Apparently that was the team. The rest of the world में हमारे 2 players थे, the captains of both the teams. Let me see the name. Mansoor Ali Khan and Hanif Mohammed were the captains of the Indian and Pakistan team. तो वो they were playing together जब war broke out 65 में. तो together they sent a message कि we're really sorry to hear, लेकिन we're united on the field and we're playing together. Imagine that happening now. And by a coincidence, 1971 में जब war हुई, तो Ganguly and Zaheer Abbas were playing in the rest of the world together. And when 71 happened, हालांकि tensions were skyrocketed उस वक्त इंडिया पाकिस्तान के बीच में बहुत मसला था, लेकिन they said कि we literally consoled each other in the same room when this was breaking out. So there was a lot of unity in the team. There are a lot of characters over, जैसे लाला अमरनाथ का पता है किसी को? So Lala Amarnath was the first captain of India, and he's called the son of Lahore. So he was actually India ki team pre-partition. He was the first Indian to ever score a century, legend. And Kardar, जो हमारा पहला captain था, they played together pre-partition. तो शुरू में when A.H. Kardar was leading our team and Lala Amarnath was leading his team from India, so there were a lot of players whenever they would come together and play against each other. They would remember कि यार we used to play together. Fazal Mahmood and all of these other Indian and Pakistani players, they used to be on the same side. So every time they would play, they would be united, and their families and teams would come. Like Pakistan उस side पे जाता था border के, India इस side पे आता था border के. So regardless of the political tensions, there was always so much love and emotional bond, shared histories नजर आती थी. So that was a huge thing that we miss now. कि अब people to people contact nahi hai ab. So we feel
it's pretty bad.
now we're a generation that has never interacted with India directly.
Yeah.
We have not seen them. तो हमें लगता है ये बहुत different कोई चीज़ है, हमारे दुश्मन है, when in reality they're quite a lot like
Same
us.
us.
तो in cricket का ये फ़ायदा होता था कि people would cross the borders, they would see these players, they would celebrate these players. इधर बहुत मशहूर वाक़या चेन्नई टेस्ट का mentioned है, जब I think 1999 में we went. तो 1999 में there was a lot of political tension between Pakistan and India. लेकिन वसीम अकरम I think was the captain when he won the match. तो in India, like defeating the Indian team on their territory, Chennai में, the whole crowd stood up and gave a standing ovation to Wasim Akram. And it was Harsha Bhogle ka, it's mentioned in this book, that whole anecdote कि Harsha Bhogle was standing with the mic in front of the camera, लेकिन crowd का शोर इतना ज़्यादा था कि he couldn't even speak, and people were like नहीं बोलो बोलो, but the crowd was going insane for Wasim Akram who defeated their own team. तो ऐसे moments अब capture नहीं होते, we don't get to see those. So that is a huge loss to cricket overall. It's a loss to us revenue wise, but it's a loss to cricket overall and the world. So we really miss that now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what do you think of the future of cricket? We see a women's team. Our women's team is doing so well.
Really amazing. Yeah.
What do you see? What challenges do you see, and what opportunities do you
For
see?
the women's cricket or overall?
Overall, including the women.
I mean, PSL has come home, so that's really good. Pakistan has opened up to other teams.
Yeah.
England abhi kar rahi hai, which was devastating. New Zealand ka ho raha hai. So obviously good signs. Our players are being nominated for every other ICC award. We have people like Babar Azam, and Pakistan mein jo bhi ho raha ho, there is always so much magic in cricket, you know. And this is what I just love about Pakistani cricket. It's a great example of what Pakistan itself can do, you know. तो जब आप देखते हो, there are so many. जब शाहीन does his opening spell, जब शादाब जैसा 17 साल का बच्चा 2017 के चैम्पियंस ट्रॉफी में does that whole appeal thing, or बाबर आजम जैसा प्लेयर है, so there is a lot to appreciate. And हमने resilience की बात की थी शुरू से 1952 में, how Pakistan started defeating all these teams in their first series. Even now, it's a story of resilience, right?
Yeah.
जो 2009 में श्रीलंका के खिलाफ attacks, वो टीम पे जो attack हुआ था, 2010 में we have the spot fixing scandal.
Recently also New Zealand's team refused to play.
Refused to
and
come.
they
England
have-
refused to come. They backed out.
They were here and they went back.
they were
And we were
back.
furious with England as well, क्योंकि we supported England during COVID. हमने series cancel नहीं की थी, हम proper गए थे उनके पास. तो we felt betrayed. And हम पूरी दुनिया से isolated हैं. We have hardly any revenue coming in. अभी हमने दुबई की बात की थी कि those series are very expensive to do, and at a time when you're not making a lot of revenue. IPL say we're very isolated. पूरी दुनिया से we're generally isolated, and yet number 1 ranking test team recently under Misbah, you win the test championship. 2017 में you win the Champions Trophy. अभी you almost 92 का World Cup आपने replicate किया था. तो despite everything, Pakistan keeps bouncing back for no one understands how, but that's just the story of Pakistan, and cricket is a great embodiment of that.